Here is the front panel of things falling off. I apologize.
It's fine.
It's fine, don't worry about it. Hello everybody and welcome back to Computex 2023. We're here at the Be Quiet booth and genuinely this is the most excited I've been today. Because you know, I love PC builds and we've now got 3 new cases, technically around about 5 or 6 if you add in a few different variants. This is a brand new version of the Darkbase 900 Pro. So this is the Darkbase Pro 901. I'm going to start by saying that this is a very customizable case. It's actually, I think, the most customizable case I think I've probably ever seen. And all of these panels are completely customizable and fundamentally they do actually come in the box. So if you want to go for something that's very open, you want to maximize airflow, potentially performance, you can go for this. Or if you want to go for the traditional Be Quiet look or the Be Quiet ethos, if you like, of having a completely silent PC, then you can actually do this. I'm going to try and grab a front panel so you can see. The professional that I am. Here is the front panel of things falling off. And you can actually take this middle bit out. It comes with some acoustic foam. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's fine.
It's fine, don't worry about it. So while I may be breaking things, there is actually something else that is very old, has made a bit of a comeback. And that is, I confess, not very easy to open. It's a 5¼ inch bay, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to put something in here, you can do that. How many people are going to do this? Probably not that many, but you've got the option. The build that we've got here is also one that has been fully inverted, so you can see all of these components are upside down. Some people say this does give you better ventilation, can give you better thermals, and in some chassis that might be the case, but realistically there are probably going to be other limiting factors at play that will make more of a difference. But I always like the flexibility, and I do like the way that it's been engineered so that this GPU bracket that you do get inside the box actually still manages to attach to the top of the case to give it a bit more rigidity. And something else, regardless of whether you're going to use this inversion technique or not really, that I like is that you do now have, that was very close, I almost put my hands inside those fans. You can see we've got this radiator at the side because, like we're seeing on quite a few cases now, you can actually put fans or a radiator at the side of the case, which gives you more options if you want to either go for like a water-cooled build, you want something that looks a little bit different like we have here. More flexibility is good, and as I said before, this is definitely a case that gives you loads and loads of flexibility. Come in close, look at the front panel of this. Obviously you've got your on-off button, nothing really that interesting there, but you now have these touch-sensitive buttons on the front, so you can change your RGB or your fan speed, you can sync it with your motherboard without having to sort of try and work it out by like pushing some buttons in and hoping that it might change the mode that you want it to do. And then, if I grab my phone and place this on top, the charger's back while it's charging at 15 watts. That is actually quite useful. But let's press on now to case number 2, and I think a lot of people are going to love this because this is the Darkbase 701. The big change really is that this is all about the airflow sort of focus. You can't have like a solid panel on this anymore, so if you wanted to build that, you're going to have to look at an older chassis. But especially in the white color, I really love this. I think it's got loads of flexibility, loads of room to build in. So if you do want to go for a high-end build, you want it to really let the components themselves do the talking, this is a great chassis because while you've got some RGB, it's nothing crazy, it's not going to detract from the overall build. It still has all the features really that you need. You do lose 2 of the USB ports that you'll find on the higher end 901, but you still have USB-C. Pretty much everything there is as you'd expect. And this is also another case that you can invert. So if you do want to flip it around again, maybe your desk, you can only have your PC on the left, I don't know, your power outlet's there, you can do that. Or maybe you just love the upside down sort of build. Again, nice to have the flexibility. It does come with a brand new Silent Wings 4 as well though, which is pretty cool. You don't have an option with any RGB on the fans themselves, but you do on the next chassis, and I think this is going to be the one that most people are going to get excited for, not only because it has more RGB, but because it's a little bit more affordable as well. So if we come along the front, you'll see that there's loads of cases here because you've got loads of different color options, and you do also get 3 different options as well. So you've got the FX here that has RGB with RGB fans, you've got the FX that has RGB on the front, and then you have the good old-fashioned standard version that doesn't have any RGB at all. This is essentially like a pure base 500 XL, but it's not called that. And that is pretty much my main complaint really with the older generation of the 500DX. It was that it was great, but if you did want to put really large graphics cards in there, you were a little bit limited. It was kind of a chassis that was very easy to recommend if you're looking for like a mid-tier, high-end silent RGB case, but going into the higher end, it just wasn't really becoming too much of an option at the moment. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
They've actually got a full system built up here, so you can see it in all its glory. One detail that I do absolutely appreciate is that there is actually quite a bit of room between the graphics card and the glass when you're using this in a vertical orientation. They've clearly thought about this and decided that more airflow is required, so you've got that larger gap, and it should mean if you do want to show your GPU off in its full glory, you're not going to have to suffer with thermals as much as you might have to if that gap was a fair bit smaller. One other thing that I do want to draw your attention to is obviously the fact that you do have different color choices, but if you go for the FX version, no, this is Be Quiet's confusing naming structure again. If you go for the RGB version, which has RGB on the front but no RGB fans, then you get this white and black accent, and the fan at the back is actually non-RGB and it's black. I'm not a massive fan of that. I would prefer to see a white fan on the white case, but they're trying to bring the cost of this down, so I do understand, but it's still not perfect, still not ideal. Whereas if you go for the FX version, then everything is white, including the fan, and then this completely white front. So if you're going for an all-white build, then you're going to want to go for this particular case, the FX. If you're wanting to go for maybe a white and black build, then you can consider the FX. But there we go. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you make of what we've got here? Do you like it? Do you think some improvements are needed? Let me know down in the comment section below. Subscribe for more Computex coverage. Check out the video down below that we did all about the new Asus monitors that are pretty cool. And we'll catch you in the next one.